Fortnite has been doing live events for over 5 years now, and they're a staple in the game. So today we're going to be ranking every single one of them, starting off with the beginning. Chapter 1 Season 4's The Rocket Launch Event. This is the start of live events, and this is the start of a change in gaming. How your game presents something is kind of what happens with this live event. This starts off a ton of stuff for gaming, not just Fortnite, but obviously huge for Fortnite as well. Looking back at this event, compared to other events, it doesn't hold up super well, but you have to figure it in the time. It's the first live event ever made. The whole community loved it. It was a ton of fun, but there were some problems, which stops it from being in the GOATed tier. So we're going to give the first live event a great tier. We now go to Chapter 1, Season 6 with the Cube event.
Falling, dreaming.
This is where we get rifted up into an area that we've never been before. A new multiverse, if you will. But it's just this white room. We're floating with the rifts in the sky, and this left a lot of people confused. This isn't my favorite event personally. I think it's okay. The cube going up into the sky, shaking around, that was pretty cool. But I'm going to give it a good rating because it didn't blow me out the water, but it wasn't bad. I'll give it the good rating because there were still some memorable moments in the event. Now going on to Season 7, the Ice King event. At the time, this was the worst event that Fortnite has done. Basically, it's just the Ice King putting snow on the map without too much really happening. It was a pretty boring event. I'm not going to put it in the worst, so I'm just going to put it in the bad. Because it was quick, it was short, it wasn't that entertaining, and there wasn't much going on. So we're going to have to give it the bad rating. In Season 7, however, Fortnite introduces its first concert event with Marshmello. It obviously isn't as big as some of the later musical artists that perform in Fortnite, like we get later on. We'll talk about that, don't worry. But Marshmello is going to get the good rating. The vibes were there. A lot of people enjoyed this event. Me personally, I liked it. I liked Marshmello's songs that were played at this event. It was pretty cool to have him at the stage in Fortnite, basically. And I think I heard that he also performed it live. Like it's a recording for most of these events. But Marshmello was actually performing live in real life when this was going on. So that's also a pretty cool thing to note. But it's just not as crazy and not as groundbreaking as many other events. So it's just going to get the good rating. We have the Unvaulting event. This one right here is going to get a great rating. I thought about putting it in GOATed, but I think we have to save that for the best of the best live events. Don't get me wrong, this event had 2 phases that were both great. You had the Unvaulting, where you pick out a weapon you bring back. That ended up being the drum gun. And then after you leave the Unvaulting area, we go to the volcano erupting, because this obviously is Season 8. And we leave the volcano, we see it erupting, and our favorite POIs are destroyed, like Tilted Towers and Retail Row. So a lot of people did not enjoy that part, but you cannot deny that the event itself was groundbreaking and a ton of fun to be a part of. So it's going to get the great rating. These next few events I'm going to talk about are heavy hitters. Starting off with the Meg vs. Monster.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
This is our first GOATed event. From the fight scene to how it ended. It's just a moment where you really had to be there to fully know and fully embrace like how crazy this was. But if you were not there, you can still find a YouTube video and still watch how many people reacted with joy and in pure awe. They were pure shutter shock because this was just insane. Fortnite had never done something like this before. It's basically just a massive fight on the island. That is what it is. But it's so much more than that. And that's why this event is going to get goated. Because people loved it. I loved it. And it arguably is Fortnite's best event. And is Fortnite's most iconic event. But if we're going to talk about iconic events, then we have to go to Chapter 1 Season X for the end event. This will also be getting goated for a few reasons. I know a lot of people didn't want to leave Chapter 1, but in that time frame, people were okay with it. Because Chapter 1 Season X left a lot of sour tastes in people's mouth. So, leaving the Chapter 1 map, trying out something new, people were interested. But from the rocket, all the way from the first live event, Season 4, being a pivotal part, you have members of the 7 that play a huge role in this event, and the iconic black hole, which led for so many awesome moments. It's almost impossible not to give this goated just based off the moments it made and how many streamers like blew up from this. I'd say this was the moment that made Cypher BK like a worldwide streamer. He was obviously big before that, but this was his biggest stream for a long time. So we gotta give credit where credit's due and give it the goated. We are now in the Chapter 2 of Fortnite, and we're starting off with a bang. The Star Wars live event. I'm obviously kidding when I say that. This is one of the worst events Fortnite has ever done. It's a 10-minute long advertisement, and they put lightsabers in at the end to try and make people happy. But it's too late. The only thing I can give to this event was the intro with the stormtroopers and the big ship, Millennium Falcon, coming in. That was cool. But the rest of this was a massive advertisement. Travis Scott's Astronomical. This is going straight into the goated. It's actually going to go to the top of goated. I'm not ranking it from the tiers, but Travis Scott's is the exception. This is widely accepted as the best event in Fortnite's history, and there's a reason why. Travis Scott performed some of his biggest and best songs, but that's the least of the importance is the songs themselves. We have massive Travis Scott spawning in at the beginning after the explosion goes off. The multiple island changes, we go underwater. We have all these different light colors in the Goosebumps section. We go out of Fortnite, floating in the earth, seeing all these different islands, which probably gave a big hint to the future of Fortnite back then. When Travis was perfuming his new song at the end of the show. And we even thought we were going back to Chapter 1. That obviously didn't happen, but it doesn't matter. This is still one of my favorite events Fortnite has ever done, and we're going to cherish it for a long, long time. This is obviously goated. We now have the device event. And this was mixed opinions when it first happened. I think the perception was overall it was good, and I would agree with that. I do think this is a good event. I think the water flooding was really cool. We went into the Agent Jones office, which gave us massive teases to what it's really like in the Fortnite storyline. And this event was huge for the storyline. Speaking of, this is probably the biggest event, maybe, for the storyline. I know it's at least one of the biggest. And even if it's not the most entertaining, not the most outlandish, it still was a ton of fun and a great wrap-up for Chapter 2 Season 2, one of the best seasons in Fortnite's history. Galactus live event in Chapter 2 Season 4. I thought about goated. I'm only going to go great though, because I feel like the problem with this event, it was too easy to defeat Galactus. We just fed him a bunch of battle buses, and boom, that's what it was called, to kill him. And we thought he was like this big bad threat. We just needed to feed him some battle buses, and that was it. Which is fine. I think the scene where, you're driving, Tony Stark is playing the music, that was really, really cool. And we also have some other very nice scenes in this event as well. Like when we're first person flying the bus, Like, this event is still great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not going to go goated because I feel like there are a few tiny problems. And to be goated, you have to be elite. We are now going to talk about the Chapter 2 Season 6 intro event.
Okay, you the king, Burger King.
Because this wasn't the end of Chapter 2 Season 5, the beginning of Chapter 2 Season 6. This is going to be my first okay. There are some things I like about this event. I like that we're continuing, finding more about The Rock and what he's doing. Well, at the time, we only knew him as the Foundation. But anyway, I think this was a okay event, like the tier it's in, just because of the cutscenes. I think there was too much cutscenes and not enough us playing, because the real magic is when we're playing in the game, experiencing it live. The cutscenes, although they're cool, they're just not too interesting. And we obviously had Chapter 6 after this. I mean, not Chapter 6. Chapter 2, Season 6. And we all know how we feel about that season. Or at least most people know it's not a good season. So I think for that reason, I'm just going to go okay. Ariana Grande's Rift Tour event.
We can't be friends.
This was a little bit of a change of pace from Travis Scott, because the first couple songs played aren't even Ariana Grande songs. I love the Juice WRLD part at the very beginning. We're like flying through the previous events before it actually starts. On the UFO, there's like mini games even before the event. So I think it was actually pretty cool. I'm gonna go good. I don't think it's at the level of Travis Scott. I don't think it's too far behind, but the events in Great, I think, are just a little bit better than this event. But that's nothing against Ariana. I think she played some great songs at the event. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. And I think good is a fair rating for her. For this video, I was rewatching a couple events that I didn't fully remember. Skyfire was one of the events I had to rewatch. Looking back at it, I'm gonna give it the meh okay. It's a high tier okay, low tier good. You could interchange either of those two tiers. I'm gonna give it the okay though, because for one, I thought we were doing just a lot of running in the UFO ship. It was mainly just walking around, escaping the UFOs, UFO aliens. I thought that was okay. Nothing crazy, but it felt a little bit dragged out, just kind of escaping the Sloan. I get it, it's a part of the story, but still not the most intriguing or interesting. But once we get into the Sloan room, it gets better. We have the bomb scene where Sloan betrays us. That made a lot of people go crazy. And overall, this event is okay. Nothing great, nothing good. Actually, it is decently good. But I'm just going to give it the okay. Especially because they clickbaited us with the map at the end of this event. We thought it was going to be all destroyed. Ended up just being these tiny little destroyed parts. And that was not very nice of Fortnite. So we're going to give it okay. The end of Chapter 2 event. A lot of people were looking forward to this, to get out of Chapter 2. They hadn't been on the best streak of seasons. And I'm actually going to give this the great rating. The map flipping at the end was truly something that Fortnite is the only company, Epic Games is the only company that could serve up for us. Fortnite's the only game that could serve up for us. This event had everything you look for in a Fortnite live event and more. The Rock face reveal in this event as the Foundation, that was crazy. And yeah, this was just like peak vibes for an event as well. We escape the Cube Queen, and we go to Chapter 3. So I'm going to give this event the great. Now we have the Fortnite Collision event. I'm going to give this good. I think it's a little bit better than Skyfire. The bringing back of the mech in that new form was cool. Peely driving the slurp truck helping us out. That was another cool part. But this event, for me, it was just slightly forgettable. That's why it's not going to go above good. But the event itself was pretty fine. It's just nothing too crazy. So I am just going to give it the good. I don't have too much to say, because even rewatching, there wasn't too much bad, but there wasn't too much great either. So I think good is a solid baseline. Fracture,
I gotta tell you, it was
we know, is one of the worst events ever. It was confirmed that this was made in UEFN, but not fully developed UEFN back when it was like just beginning. And I feel like we can kind of tell because this event just didn't really have the care or enjoyment that many Fortnite events do. Like we see at the top 3 tiers, that's where 90% of the events are, is in the top 3 tiers. But this event just did not hit the mark, and this angered the player base. I even had a video about this being the worst Fortnite event. So it's going to go in the worst tier. But I still think it's an okay job, at least for trying UEFN. I just think the events should be used on actual Fortnite developing team. The Fortnite Big Bang event. This is a little bit of a rebound. Not too crazy though. I'm gonna go good. Because I thought it felt a little bit too much like an advertisement for this metaverse thing that they were advertising. And some of the things were okay. Like I liked Eminem. I wish he had a little bit longer of a performance. We'll see tomorrow, though, as of recording this. Anyway, the rocket racing thing was okay. Festival thing was pretty decent. Like I said with Eminem. Lego was cool when we were gliding in. But overall, just a little bit of an advertisement. They did nostalgia bait us with the first half of the event being a redo of Chapter 1, the end event, but it worked very well. It got a lot of people excited for what the event was going to be, and so for that reason, I'll give it good. The Chapter 5 mini events. Now, I'm going to be honest, most of these Chapter 5 mini events I wasn't able to get to because there wasn't like a time where it was happening, or it was just a little bit confusing, I'm going to be honest, as a whole. So I'm just going to quickly go through them. This hand event here, heading into Chapter 5 Season 2, it was solid. I think I'm actually just going to put all of them in the okay tier. Now, keep in mind, these are mini events. They're not full-length live events. So we do have to hinder our expectations for them a little bit. We can't think it's going to be this grand thing like an astronomical or a Meg vs. Monster, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But these events are solid. They play the role in getting us from one season to another. But I'm not the biggest fan of them, because I do miss getting a grand event every couple of seasons. Kind of like how Chapter 2 did it. Every few seasons we get a really good event, for the most part. And that's what I kind of miss. These mini events, they do their job. They're okay. But there's none that I really want to talk about because they're all like 5 minutes or less. So there's nothing really too much to say about them other than being just okay. We can finish this video with the Chapter 2 Remix ranking. I think this event was honestly really great. I enjoyed it a ton. I thought all of the performers gave their own spin on this event, whether you get the chill performance from Snoop Dogg, the funny performance from Eminem, Ice Spice coming in, giving her energy, asserting dominance in a way when she walks in, and then Juice WRLD ending it off as the tribute to him was honestly getting many people teary-eyed. I was one of those people. It was honestly really heartwarming, but also really sad. But I think Fortnite did a great job tributing him, and they did a great job with this event in general. I gotta say my favorite part was the Eminem scene. Obviously, I love Juice WRLD's as well. But Eminem, when he's fighting the mech, or when he's playing Monster with Rihanna, like, that was just so good. Honestly, one of my favorite moments in an event ever for Fortnite. Snoop Dogg had a great performance, and Ice Spice did her thing as well. So I'm going to put this into the great tier, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to support me, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to use my code in the item shop, it's code TrixyOC. A lot of great items you can buy in the store right now, and if you want to buy them, code TrixyOC in the shop. I'd really appreciate it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.